Things you don't know about Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty is a 1959 American animated musical fantasy film produced by Walt Disney based on Sleeping Beauty by Charles Perrault, the 16th Disney animated feature film. It was released to theaters on January 29, 1959 by Buena Vista Distribution. It features the voices of Mary Costa, Eleanor Audley, Varna Felton, Barbara Ladi, Barbara Jo Allen, Bill Shirley, Taylor Holmes and Bill Thompson. The film was directed by Les Clark, Eric Larson and Wolfgang Reitherman under the supervision of Clyde Geronimi, with additional story work by Joey Rinaldi, Winston Hibler, Bill Pitt, T. Sears, Ralph Wright and Mint Banta. The film's musical score and songs featuring the work of the Ground Key Symphony Orchestra under the direction of George Burns are adjustments or adaptations of numbers from the 1890 Sleeping Beauty ballet by Peter Ehrlich-Thomas. Sleeping Beauty was the first animated film to be photographed in the Super Technirama 70 widescreen process, as well as the second full-length animated feature film to be filmed in anamorphic widescreen. Following Disney's Lady and Tramp 4 years earlier, the film was presented in Super Technirama 70 and 6 channel stereophonic sound in the first run engagements. In 2019, the film was selected for preservation in the United States National Film Registry by the Library of Congress as being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. Sleeping Beauty is one of our very favorite Disney animated classics. It doesn't look like any other ever, and that bold stylization translates into idiosyncratic story choices. As such, we wanted to take a look back at the movie's long and involved production and release, searching for things that even the biggest Sleeping Beauty devote might have missed, possibly while sleeping. Enough with the intro. Now let's get back to our discussion topic. 1. It took a long time to make. When Sleeping Beauty was released in theaters in 1959, it was advertised as being 6 years in the making, except that wasn't exactly true, since work was formally underway on the project back in 1951. This was an expensive, time-intensive production full of opulent design work and complex technology. More on that in a minute. And Walt himself, who had originally envisioned the project at his masterpiece, became disinterested and distant as he became more involved in his California theme park. This also explains why it has taken that much time. 2. Sleeping Beauty Castle was used as a promotional tool. Disneyland opened in 1955, almost 4 years before Sleeping Beauty was released. That means there were almost 4 years of visiting tourists asking what is that castle from. Eventually, in 1957, a walkthrough exhibit was installed in the castle. But what is really cool is that since the film was still in production when the exhibit was installed, it features some sequences that didn't make it into the final version of the film. It was like a living collection of deleted scenes. To help promote the movie, he named the park's iconic castle Sleeping Beauty's Castle, but it was originally Snow White's. He added a walkthrough exhibit and diorama scenes from the movie. In fact, as the film was still in production when it was created, it included sequences that were cut, so it acted as a library of deleted scenes. It was closed in 2001 after the September 11 terror attacks because the dark, unmonitored corridors were seen as risks. It reopened after a refurbishment in 2008. The castle in Disneyland Paris is much more of a replica of the movie's castle, with an animatronic dragon underneath it. 3. It was the last animated film to feature traditionally in cel. The films that would come after Sleeping Beauty would employ then cutting-edge Xerox technology to make cells, which is a somewhat less painterly process but allowed for the animators' lines drawings to actually make their way to the big screen. 4. Several characters from Sleeping Beauty also appear in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Maleficent has been utilized in a number of scenarios, including the Kingdom Hearts video game, fireworks shows, and of course her own spin-off movie. But Maleficent's little goblin henchman appear in the Maroon Cartoon Studio lot in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and the rovers from the film appear to circle either Roger Rabbit or Eddie Valiant's heads in 2 separate sequences. 5. The film is very similar to the fairy tale, except with few fewer fearless. While the story for Sleeping Beauty is based largely and rather faithfully to the 17th century Charles Perrault fairy tale translated into The Beauty Sleeping in the Wood, one of the major changes is that there were originally 7 fairies reduced down to 3. It's a fairy tale with fewer fairies. 6. It was screened in a giant format. One of the bigger technological challenges on Sleeping Beauty involved the film being released in Super Technirama 70mm, meaning the artist could achieve a higher level of detail and stylization since they were drawing on giant pieces of paper the size of bed sheets. Of course, since the movie took so long to develop, by the time it was released, 70mm had largely fallen out of favor and it was mainly released in standard 35mm, robbing many theatrical exhibitions of grandeur that Walt and the artist had intended. 7. The theatrical release was accompanied by an experimental Oscar-winning live-action short. Accompanying Sleeping Beauty's theatrical release was a 29-minute experimental live-action short called Grand Canyon that was based on a 1929 musical suite composed by American pianist Freddie Groff, more a live-action segment of Fantasia than an actual documentary short. It contained no dialogue or narration. Its boldness was rewarded, however, when it won an Academy Award. Walt was obviously a fan of the Grand Canyon. It debuted in Disneyland the year before Sleeping Beauty was published. It was re-released 4 times. Sleeping Beauty would eventually make money. All in it wound up being the second most profitable movie of 1959 after Ben-Hur, but this was only after several splashy theatrical re-releases in 1970, 1979, 1986 and 1995. 9. Early adaptation of the story. Versions of Sleeping Beauty have been published by both Charles Perrault and the brothers Grimm. Perrault called his heroine Aurora, while the Grimm's Little Bear Rose referred to their princess as Oil Bear Rose. Disney split the difference and used both names. 10. Prince Philip is named after royal family. Prince Philip is said to have been named after another royal that Americans would have been familiar with during that time period. Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, the husband of Queen Elizabeth II. They had only been married for 12 years at the time Sleeping Beauty was released, and she had been queen for just 7. 11. The original version had 7 fairies instead of 3. Instead of 3 quirky fairies, the original versions included 7, as in Perrault's story. Other versions include up to 13, making the evil fairy the unlucky addition. The gifts, the 7 fairies, best of it in Perrault's tale were beauty, wit, grace, dance, song, and music. In Disney Sleeping Beauty, this was truncated to beauty and song. 12. The voice of Sleeping Beauty is a professional opera singer. Mary Costa, the voice of Sleeping Beauty, is a professional opera singer and has performed in more than 40 operatic roles on stage. She sang at a memorial service for John F. Kennedy at the request of Jackie Kennedy after Jackie heard her sing the Star Spangled Banner at the Academy Awards. She was also one of the original Cheerleader girls. Here she is with Bing Crosby in 1971. 13. Costa's Dilemma. Costa is originally from Knoxville, Tennessee, and her southern accent almost prevented her from getting the job. Animator Mark Davis said that after some deliberation, the team decided that if an Englishwoman like Vivian Leigh could pull off a southern accent for Gone with the Wind, a southern girl could sustain an English accent for Sleeping Beauty. 14. Helene Stanley was the live-action Sleeping Beauty. Though Mary Costa provided the voice for Aurora, Helene Stanley was the live-action reference. She also served as the reference for Cinderella and Anita from 101 Dalmatians. Here she is providing movements and expression for the animators on the Disneyland TV show. 15. Sleeping Beauty was modeled after Audrey Hepburn. So now you know that Helene Stanley provided the live-action model and Mary Costa provided the voice. But there was at least one other inspiration for Princess Aurora's features and body type, Audrey Hepburn. 16. Mickey Mouse reference. When the fairies discuss how to help the king and queen early on in the film, Mary either makes cookies in the shape of a classic Mickey Mouse head. 17. Critics thought about the movie. Although it's a classic now, Sleeping Beauty was not darling at the time. Critics thought the movie moved slowly and lacked character development. 18. Sleeping Beauty is now part of the Disney archives. The fairy tale book that opens the movie was real and was entirely hand-painted by Ivan Early, the man responsible for
for the entire look and feel of the movie. It was restored in 2008 and is now part of the Disney archives, where it is sometimes put on display at events. 19. Walt Orris made the film happen. Walt worried about the constant comparisons to Snow White and Cinderella, so he worked with early to come up with the stylish and golden Sleeping Beauty look, which was very painstaking and time-consuming. That's why it took us 6 years and $6 million to make Sleeping Beauty. But it was worth it. Walt once said early also worked on Peter Pan and Lady and the Tramp, among others. 20. On Browse to see the art of Ivan Early, determined to make this new film at Disney animated feature like no other. Walt assigned stylist Ivan Early as production designer, creating a stylist approach that was a radical departure from previous Disney animated features. Ali combined Gothic France, Italian and Renaissance influences with his own abstract style on realism to create the formalized elegance and stylish design seen in Sleeping Beauty, to create the sumptuously stylish panoramas for this widescreen spectacle. Ali painted dozens of backgrounds in the distinctive style, some of them 15 feet long.
Animation artist Tom Oreb skillfully incorporated the strong horizontal and vertical planes of the backgrounds into the character design so that they had the early flair. 21. Hail to the Princess Aurora with the gift of beauty bestowed on her by the god fairies. It was essential that Princess Aurora be a truly lovely Sleeping Beauty. Animator and designer Mark Davis explained, "We had decided to do Sleeping Beauty as what Walt called a moving illustration, so we stylized the drawing of Briar Rose. They will owe the delicacy of newly minted movie star Audrey Hepburn influenced the early Oreb designs of Briar Rose, Aurora's peasant persona during her stay in the woods. To further many Briar Rose to her stylish settings, Oreb drew vertical lines into the folds of her peasant graph and graphically integrated two-dimensional swirls into Briar Rose's long golden hair." 22. An animated feat for Princess Mark Davis, the perfect choice to oversee Briar Rose. Mark Davis was the final word on animated princess at Disney. "I didn't come to the studio to do female characters," Davis recalled, "but because of my early work with Grimm Netwick on the character of Snow White, I ended up doing several of them." Mark had been a directing animator for the character of Cinderella, so his was to be the guiding hand in infusing this new Disney with graciousness life. Walt explained that the animators used living models more carefully than ever before in order to give the artist inspiration to help them shape the anatomy of movement and expression of the cartoon figures, but Davis was careful to point out that the live-action footage of Briar Rose was only for reference and was never tracked. 23. Every frame a work of art. Sequence director Eric Larson recalled the conscious effort to strive for Sleeping Beauty perfection. Walt told me after one story meeting that he didn't care how long it took, but to do it right. He said Walt challenged the more than 300 Sleeping Beauty artists and technicians to make each frame an independent work of art. Because of the intricate stylization of the characters, the assistant animators had to work carefully with existing specifications, even down to the exact thickness of the pencil lines. In the case of the carefully designed Briar Rose, it took one full day to create one cleaned-up animation drawing. For the gel-like colors selected by Ivan Early, the Disney Paint Lab developed new hues using additives that gave the pigments a glow on the screen unseen in any animated film that had come before. 24. The Mysteries of All Evil, Maleficent. In an unusual design role, Davis not only was the directing animator of the royally beautiful Briar Rose, he was also the artistic force behind the epitome of evil, Maleficent, inspired by a religious painting from a Czechoslovakian art book. Davis artistically experimented with flame-like shapes and patterns of triangular colors as seen here in Davis' concept art, basing Maleficent's headdress on goat horns and the material framing her face on buttons. The artist gave her following garment a reptilian quality, foreshadowing the dragon into which the evil fairy will later transform herself. 25. Dream Prince Philip. If there's anything that's really tough to animate, it's the male hero, admitted Walt. It's hard to make him interesting and not have him come out looking like Dick Tracy and Buck Rogers. He instructed his artist to make the character as real as possible, near flesh and blood, and this was especially important for Prince Philip as he
had such a large role to play. The masterful animation of Philip resulted in a prince who is not only valiant but also likable with good-hearted humor. That was done by Milt Kahl, noted Mark Davis of his fellow animator, acclaimed for expertly bringing to life difficult to animate human figures. The expressions and things that work there, I have always been very pleased with that. 26. The three-god fairies' magic can only be used to bring happiness. Knowing that the success of the story depended on Flora, Fiona and Merryweather and their efforts to shield Aurora from Maleficent's curse, Walt appointed two fairy godfathers to the characters, Frank Thomas and Ollie Johnson, to bring the trio of good-hearted goddess to life. Thomas and Johnson studied old ladies at wedding receptions and shopping at grocery stores, while stylist Don DeGrady found the key to the characters' movements by observing that many older ladies wore their hats flat on top of their heads and trotted along briskly wherever they went. The result, three sparking personalities who have been endearing themselves to audience for 6 decades. 27. The gift of song, the music. According to sequence director Willie Riederman, Walt wanted to match the eloquence of the music with the same visual perfection, and he found the ideal musical score in the Sleeping Beauty ballet composed by Pyotr Ilyich Tchaikovsky in 1890. In order to adapt the exquisite Tchaikovsky melodies for use in the animated story, composer George Burns searched through the ballet scores note by note for just the right themes for each scene in the film and for each of the songs. It would have been much easier to write an original score, stated Burns, but it is rich in melody as much of Tchaikovsky is, and it was a matter of choosing which melodies to use. Conducting the Berlin Symphony Orchestra, George Burns recorded the enchanting music from September 8 through November 25, 1958 in Germany, where the best stage of the Art 6 channel stereo equipment was available. The exquisite score was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Music. 28. You have to have a bad guy. In the original story, there wasn't much conflict. In fact, the princess slept for 100 years before she was found by the prince. Disney had to come up with a villain like Maleficent to give the prince something to fight for. The princess ends up sleeping for a single day in the film to keep the romance as appropriate. 29. Maleficent was based on a medieval painting. Mark Davis was inspired by medieval art when he did the character design for Maleficent. However, his original design had her wearing red and black robes rather than the famous purple and black. In fact, the design comes from a religious painting that showed a character with fire coming out of her, which became a part of Maleficent's slaves. 30. Maleficent originally had antenna and a falcon named Diablo. Originally, Maleficent was a fairy with antenna, and she also had a falcon as a cohort, a falcon that was named Diablo. Also, the raven was never officially named Diablo in the 1959 film. It has been verified by a lot of the animators that they refer to the raven as Diablo. Speaking of names, the raven that accompanies Maleficent is called Diablo, but that's never said in the movie. Another character who doesn't have a name in the movie is the Queen, but she is listed in promotion as Queen Leah. 31. They took sequences from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Writing began on Sleeping Beauty in 1951. Following the success of Cinderella, some of the story elements were taken from discarded ideas from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, from Maleficent's capture of Prince Philip and the escape from her fortress. 32. Changes from the original plot. The film had some changes to its plot. The writers underwent a rewrite after Disney threw out a scene where Aurora and Philip meet in the forest during production. During the rewrite, the team felt the second act felt strange with the kiss serving as the big moment, so they focused on the romance in the first act. There was a scene cut which involved a treasure hunt organized by the king. Finally, it was written in that Aurora and Philip met by accident in the forest and Aurora was renamed Briar Rose. 33. The original story. In the original tale, Aurora is the result of a spell cast by the queen by a magical fish she threw back in a pond after she found it lying on the bank. Also, the little known second half of the original fable has the prince attempt to protect Sleeping Beauty and their children from his mother, who is an ogress. She is thwarted and jumps into a pot of live serpents to avoid being killed by her own son. 34. How long did Sleeping Beauty's skirts last? The writer also changed the time and cards lasted. In the original it was 100 years, but that was far too long. This time was cut to a few hours with Prince Philip using the time to battle the goons and make his way to the castle. 35. Why does Sleeping Beauty have two names? The princess was called Aurora by her parents, meaning down in Latin. The name was taken from the original Tversky ballet. The name was used in the Charles Perrault version too, not as her name but her daughter's. The name Bria Rose came from the Brothers Grimm version of the story. 36. Heart attack and changing directors. Director Wilfred Jackson had a heart attack in December 1953, so Erik Larson, the directing animator, had to take over. Disney told Larson to make the first sequence moving illustration the ultimate in animation, and he didn't care how long it would take them. The release date was pushed back again. Later on, Disney replaced Larson with Clyde Geronimi. 37. Sleeping Beauty's style marked a change. Cinderella used a Rococo style, but Sleeping Beauty moved from that. It drew upon a combination of medieval art imagery and Art Deco style. The style came from a moment when John Hans saw the famed unicorn tapestries at the cloisters in the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. When he came back to work, he brought a reproduction of the tapestry. Disney said we would use that style for Sleeping Beauty, and that was that. 38. Why they didn't use the fairy godmothers for models? Madge Black and Spring Byington were among the actresses who double up as the fairy godmothers. The boys artists couldn't be used as they were not seen as big enough. 39. Maleficent's actress originally said no. Eleanor Audley turned down the role because she was battling tuberculosis at the time and didn't want to tax her bias, but she reconsidered. Audley had also played the wicked stepmother in Cinderella. 40. It was the last animated Disney fairy tale movie until The Little Mermaid.
The initial box office disappointment of Sleeping Beauty led to the studio holding off on producing another animated fairy tale until The Little Mermaid 30 years later. That's a long time for the Disney princess to be asleep. 41. Aurora isn't actually in it for that long. She may be the headline act, but Sleeping Beauty is only the movie for a total of 18 minutes. It's all that time sleeping you see. Her first line is actually 19 minutes into the movie. Her last is 39 minutes in. His science choice between that. 42. Sound effects and fire. A flamethrower was used to create the dragon breath and sound effect in the big battle scene. It custom nets were used for the sound of the dragon's jaws. The animator Eric Lever used a rattlesnake's movement as a point of reference to. 43. Board game. Walt Disney Sleeping Beauty game 1958 is a Parker Brothers children's board game for 2 to 4 players based upon Sleeping Beauty. The object of the game is to be the first player holding 3 different picture cards to reach the castle and the face mark. The ant Maleficent is featured on the cover of Ravenburger, Disney's villainous board game, of which she is also a playable character. Her goal is to place cards on each of 4 locations in her playable kingdom. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please subscribe to my channel, hit the like button below, and please don't forget to share this video with your friends.